So Jim, what is the relationship between color in the illusion of depth?
It has a big relationship, especially if you're working in two-dimension. Cool colors go back and warm colors come forward.
Mm-hmm.
And of course that's all depends on what you establish as the warmest color in the composition.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes you'll have red and that's the warmest color, and sometimes it could be green and that could be the warmest color. So the artist actually sets the tone, so
Mm-hmm.
to speak, sets the colors and sets how they go back. When you use color to create a foreground, midground, and background,
Mm-hmm.
you use what they call aerial perspective, which
Okay.
is how you would draw the colors, you paint the colors, and they go back visually.
Mm-hmm.
Now, three-dimensional color is used also, but it's not quite the same. And again, your foreground and your background can change with just the actual physical walking around the object.
Mm-hmm.
But color does have an effect. The other thing that color can affect is how say a three-dimensional sculpture feels. As far as color, like the Love sculpture down in Philadelphia, there
Mm-hmm.
is painted red, and then sometimes they change the colors, and
Oh,
you know,
okay.
and it has a different feeling about it.
Mm-hmm.
So I find that the color in three-dimensional work is also distinguished between its background but the background is real life. It's not
Mhm.
necessarily what you've created. As
Right, the artist
you know,
has-
mountains in the distance, and then
Right, the artist has
clouds.
to worry about what's behind their piece rather than what they put there.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, and I know you mentioned atmospheric perspective. Can you talk a little bit about that? Maybe tell us what that is.
Sure. Atmospheric perspective is as you get further away from the foreground.
Mhm.
Number one, your colors get cooler, but also your edges get softer. So-
Mhm.
because visually you cannot look at something close up and see the background in the same focus, because you just can't do that with your
Mhm.
eyes. So if you do that in a two-dimensional piece, that's not real. You know,
Mhm.
that's not how we see. So, I mean, it's done, and a lot of artists do geometric design, and they don't worry about atmospheric perspective. But I do landscapes, and I worry about it quite a bit. You know,
Mhm.
and to tell you the truth, it's when you get it right, it's just amazing. And some of the impressionists like Monet, you know, just did incredible work with atmospheric.
Monet is one of my favorites.
Yes, he's a great man. I love his work, and he got me started on painting impressionistically,
Mhm.
and so he was pretty amazing. So there's other ways to have atmospheric perspective using perspective. Perspective was invented by Brunelleschi back in the Italian Renaissance
Mhm.
and early 15th century. And so he changed the way we see depth in two-dimension. Before that, they just had everybody on the same space, everybody on the same plane, and they would show front and back by just putting somebody in front and somebody in back, you know.
Yeah.
Whereas, which is one way to do it, and then using perspective, and it works. It works great, and it's an illusion that is very interesting to the viewer.
Thank you for checking out our YouTube channel. If you would like to see more of our content, click here or consider subscribing.